You out
Let me turn down my volume a little bit. I've got noise suppression on. Is that all right there?
Oh, I bet. No, I got you. I know what the problem is. All right, you want to try talking for me?
Good deal. Live with my guy Biggums here.
Yeah, they're probably picking up my speakers. What's going on? Can't hear you for some reason.
I'm still here though. I don't know if you can hear me. I got you clear though. I can hear you pretty clearly. Some people are saying there's reverb, but not sure why there would be.
What are they saying?
I mean, that was a while ago. It looks like. I think if you can't hear it, they can't hear it. But I'm not hearing anything on your end. You sound good.
Oh yeah, you're good now. You're good now. My mic was too close to my speakers.
Been there. Been there.
Yeah, doing it. Good, dude. My bad.
Yeah, even Dave Lauer just posted that the options markets and leap theories are compelling. Like, take it with a grain of salt, right? For anybody watching. But yeah, he's saying looking at historical volume on info on GameStop, what I found is a bit shocking. On May 3rd, it blew through its average daily volume, trading 36 million shares and stayed high through May 10th, long before the price really broke out. By the way, I think this volume analysis seriously calls into question the prevailing narrative that this price movement is primarily a result of the Roaring Kitty tweets. Something else is going on here. Options markets and leaps theories are compelling. Everybody's saying it sounds good, though, just for reference.
All right, my bad. I'm doing the same thing. I agree with you. I was like, dude, my stream was like an hour 30, so I might as well restart.
Yeah, that's cool. Go ahead.
Give me like 2 seconds and then we can get started here. I just wanted people to jump in.
No
Right
worries,
back in
man.
here, my bad.
Samony says, "Hey Biggs, unblock me in your live chat. April 2021 ape. I miss you guys." Man, I wish it was that easy. You guys know how hard it is to find somebody to unblock them in YouTube. It sucks trying to do that. It's just because there's so many names there, and the mods they moderate, and there's no search function. You have to literally, and they're not in order, alphabetical order either. You have to go through and just look at the names until you find the right one. And sometimes when there's hundreds or thousands of people, it's not easy to see when someone is blocked. Hey Dana, nice to see you, my friend. Radiohead brings up a question.
All right, buddy, I'm good to go.
Cool, man. Hey, Bigums, you know what? Radiohead had a good question. Why don't you answer this? If short sellers got hurt in 2021, why would they short it again in 2024?
Just like we saw in The Big Short, man, these guys got big egos and they're not going to give up their fortunes, especially when they got these regulators and everybody letting them off the hook and everything until I believe these banks and their lenders are the ones that, because regulators they can always get away from, but you can't get away from your lenders.
Exactly right, my friend. Can't run away from the margin call, but you can hide from the regulators, right? Like that's what happened to Archegos. They tried hiding everything with their swaps from the banks, and it worked. The regulators didn't know, the banks didn't know, but of course, Marge came calling, Archegos fell apart. Then it happened to Credit Suisse. Now it's going to happen to UBS. Over and over again.
Let me ask you a couple questions, buddy.
Sure.
Let me see if you agree with a couple of my theories here. So, I don't know if you heard about TD Ameritrade and Schwab and how on Friday all of the old accounts, it was 1.8 million accounts, had to be transferred over Monday morning. And one of the things that I thought was they got caught also with their pants down because, just because they had 1.8 million customers, how many shares did those customers have? And most likely they were retail customers. So that also had to do with why they would have been the meme stocks.
Definitely possible. However, the TD Ameritrade and Schwab transition has been happening for over like a year and a half, almost 2 years now. And almost every single week, literally at least once a week or multiple times a week for the last year and a half or two, I've been hearing people talking about how they transitioned from whatever TD Ameritrade or E Trade, whichever one it is, over to Charles Schwab, and how shitty the platform is, and why do they have to transfer over? And some people are saying, "Oh, that already happened. I transferred over a year ago," and others are like, "Oh, mine's set to transfer next week." So I don't really think that it's all happened at once. They kind of staggered that and little by little moved everybody over. So is it possible? Sure. But I just don't think that they would move a 1.8 million accounts in one day when they've been doing it for 2 years. You know what I mean? I don't know if that makes if you agree with me or not, but that's my
They
initial
said it was
thoughts on it.
1.8 million specifically on Friday, my friend. There was
That is
more accounts
possible.
total in the beginning.
It's possible, but if they're moving people for 2 years already, you know, why would 1.8 million make a
Yeah, but
difference
even if
if
they move
they
people for
moved like
2 years,
they've been moving tens of millions of customers already, for so long now.
yeah, but maybe you save the worst for last.
Maybe, maybe, potentially. But yeah, no, people are
And
talking
then
shit
the
about how
other
that.
thing was,
Go ahead.
other question was about the second year, the leap options. I'm sure you heard about the leap options and everything with the 3 year. Um, One of the things that I thought was interesting with the leap year options, though, which does kind of make sense because every single time that it was running up at all, they would stop it. You would do dark pool prints, and what I think that they were doing is covering just enough of those what they couldn't roll over, and they're going to roll over the rest of the option, and then that way. But one of the things is when you do those leap year options, it usually ends up the total risk in the end ends up with the market maker. And one of the things that they can do is write those flex options, and those flex options have 15 years worth. So one of the things that I think that they're able to do is the market maker wrote a flex option for up to 15 years, and every time these leap options come up, they'll let them roll over because they already have that leverage covered in those flex options. But they'll want like money to keep rolling over obviously each time, and these guys don't have it, and that's why I think they need to sell off some positions just to re-roll those contracts over. What are your thoughts?
The question is, can they use the equity flex to roll the leap options? Checking right now on SIBO Global Markets and the New York Stock Exchange right now. But my understanding is that let me look into this a little bit further. The flex options are. Let's take a look. Where did it go? Come on. Hang on, a little bit of lag there. Flex options are designed to extend, yes, custom derivative products, correct. Flex trades are permissible on options classes not listed on the NYSE options markets but require certification with the OCC on the day before the flex is executed. Right. They're able to set contract terms like exercise price, style, dates to trade in size, no position or exercise limits. Hold on. What? Go ahead. All right, the wife just had asked me a question. Now, in addition to flex options, the NYSE American and ARCA options trades leaps, right? These long-term equity anticipation securities. Let's see if you guys can see that all on the same screen. Now, leaps may be traded on equity and index option classes, right? We already know this.
Hey, I sent you a link in Discord. Click that link and then scroll down to the middle, and you can see up to the
I will.
expiration dates.
Now, equity leaps are traded on selected common stocks, ADRs, and ETFs that have expirations of up to 3 years. The longest leaps you can have is up to 39 months, hands down. And if a leap was taken out on February of 2021, then that leap would expire 39 months later on Friday the third Friday of that month, which would be May 17th, 2024. So let me take a look at that which you just sent me, Biggums. All right, let's take a look at the screenshot. So we've got Flex and Flex Micro contract multipliers with the notional size using the SPX as an as an explanation there. Expiration up to 15 years. Put or call American. Right, but this is for the S&P the S&P or the mini XSP, the Russell, the MSCI, and the Dow Jones. You with me, bud? Can you hear me though?
Yeah, I'm with you.
Yeah. Okay. Wasn't sure. Now, equity flex options are traded on all listed options, so any ETF or any equity can have flex options. This is correct. The question is, how would they roll leaps that are worthless? They took out leaps at a high strike, which they would have because the strike price for AMC, the stock price for AMC was around 480, and for GameStop was for 480, and for AMC was in January of 21 like around $22 or so. So if they wanted to take out cheap or like leaps that are much lower, it would have been like ridiculously expensive. So they obviously took out high price leaps, high strike price leaps, right? So
Yeah.
if they were trying to roll those, they would be completely worthless right now. So their only option would be to exercise them to offset the risk to the market maker. No?
Unless they would allow them to roll that contract for a fee.
But why would they allow them to roll the contract if it's worthless, like beyond worthless, like super, super deep out of the money? I don't see why they would allow them to roll a leap that is so far out
Well, if
of the
they
money.
were making money off these people, if it was going to be a domino type, I mean, that's the thing, dude. Like, you don't know how far down this goes and how many
Oh,
people, like
exactly.
one or two small people, would even affect Citadel at this point. Because how
Mm-hmm.
much, if they did these leap options, the thing, like I said, with these flex options, you can do them for more than just. I just sent you index flex options. You can do more. You can do equity flex options. Um, that's what I was thinking that they did is, if I was the market maker and I gave you these leap options to back my risk, I would do an equity flex option. So I would have up to the 15 years because if you look at the overstock lawsuit here, let me send you this contract here.
Yeah, the leaps would definitely be in the money, just so people know. They wouldn't be deep out of the money, but the money is so high with GameStop at 480 in January of 21 and AMC at 22 that they would have to be deep in the money, but they couldn't be super deep. Otherwise, they would be even more expensive. Just so people that are wondering.
But like you were saying, like so to devalue the risk of the market maker and then day for them to exercise to eventually devalue that risk. My point is if I opened up these equity options like they did in overstock here,
Mm-hmm.
they wouldn't really have that risk because that risk is already covered through the flex options up to 15 years. They got the rights to that equity already. So it's not like they're in any rush to get it. So they could allow you to roll it off for a small fee and just keep it going, keep the game going. If it was going to destroy you, it's just like these banks and these lenders, they'll always work with you and give you a little leeway. If you can give them some up front, give them some up front. Well,
Yeah.
instead of them doing a total margin call on you, maybe they're like, all right, well, get this, get X amount, kind of leverage off this, get this amount of money, and then boom, give it to me, and we'll allow you to roll it off because I have this leveraged out to 15 with my equity flex options. Because those were used, those equity flex options were used in the overstock case, and they lost that case using those flex options, and
Hmm.
that's how they're leveraging themselves. So it only makes sense they use. It would only make sense they use them again. Why wouldn't they use them again?
Absolutely. I mean, yeah, it is. It is definitely something that would be possible if they could roll those. So, did they pump the strike prices? Did they buy all those shares so that they could roll the leaps into flex options? Maybe. If they did that, why would there be so much volume on AMC and GameStop to the point of multiple times the float? Why would we be seeing billions of shares of AMC and GameStop being reported shorted by, what was that? Who was reporting it? I'm sure you saw that too, right? The fact that billions of shares of AMC and GameStop are being
Yeah,
reported short by, was it? It wasn't SIBO, the Options
can't remember
Clearing
who it was.
Corporation, the
Yeah, I
OCC.
saw that.
It was the OCC. They're reporting that there are 10 times more shares of GameStop being shorted right now than even are supposed to exist. And how could that happen? And why would that happen if they were to take out flex options to roll their leaps? Like, why would there be so
Well,
many
I'm
shares
pretty sure
shorted?
that total number was total value in dollars, though. I don't believe it was the whole more than the float. I believe that was dollar value.
Let's go up and find out. Well,
If I
here,
remember right.
I'm
I
looking
gotta
at it
go back and
right
look at it. I think I just
now.
saw it.
Let me tag you in it, and we'll get another one, but I just tagged you in it on the Discord. Are you still in the Discord by chance?
Yeah,
All right.
I just sent you a whole bunch in our message.
Oh yeah, there's your DMs. All right. That's the Overstock versus Goldman Sachs lawsuit. Yeah, I posted a short video about what's his name, Patrick Byrne, talking shit about Goldman Sachs about that as well. But yeah, okay. It says according to the OCC, over 3.1 billion shares of GameStop are now on loan, more than 10 times the float of the stock. And it shows the market loan balance and the hedge to loan balance there being about. I'm not sure if that's entirely accurate, obviously, because I don't have the data in front of me. We can try to find it.
Yeah, I think that 1.5 billion is the value on the loan.
See, it was
I don't
Dave
believe that
Lauer,
equals
and it was.
3.1 billion.
Oh, he said somebody's telling me it was Dave Lauer, and it was 1.5 billion shares, not in dollars. But even still, if it was 1.5 billion shares and only 300 million are supposed to exist, 3, 6, 9, 12, that's still 500% the actual float, no?
Well, yeah, and that would explain why you need to halt it every 9 seconds, dude, and drop it $5 before you unhalt it every time.
Yeah, yeah, that's true.
And one of the things too, man, it's like most of the trading happens in the first 2 hours of the day. So when they sat there and halted it, that took away most of the buying pressure because most of the buying happened right when they were halting it every 5 fucking minutes.
Yep, yep, this is true.
And that's why you saw all the massive halts in the first 3, 4 hours, and then the halts slowed way down because again, all the buying already happened for that point of the day. Yeah, like pull up that Dave tweet. I haven't seen what Dave said. Oh, there we go. Yeah, right there. Oh wait, no, I don't think that's it.
The
I mean, that's the
historical
other thing.
volume
Like,
on GameStop,
I don't ever.
on May 3rd, blowing through the average daily volume. Is that the one you're talking about? It might be delayed a little bit. And I can actually screen share with you too. I should probably be doing that. Yeah, let me share that screen.
I'm watching your stream, dude. You're good. I can see everything.
It's delayed. Here, close out my stream and watch the screen share over here, and we can talk a little bit more in real time so that I don't like scroll past what you were telling me about.
Perfect.
What's up, Willow? Chill out, dog. You're good. I see you. My literal dog.
Do I think AA's not on our side? I mean, if he wasn't on our side, he could have already bankrupted this company long ago and did Chapter 11, and we would have already lost. Gotta remember, his
1,000
shares
times
are also
over.
part of his. Yeah, his shares are part of his net worth too. So every time AMC stock goes down, so does his net worth. So I don't know why people think that
The
he
largest
wouldn't care
fucking
about his net
shareholder,
worth.
right? Literally the largest fucking shareholder. And people are still trying to say that he wants to bankrupt the company. They could have done that a million fucking times. Is it this one
Wait,
you were
see,
talking
yeah, we
about
went
with the
over the
GME
leaps
volume?
already.
Or is it this one? Current heat map weighted by volume is dominated by AMC and GameStop. Weighted by volume divided by shares outstanding looks very similar. So the volume divided by the shares outstanding, of course, AMC and GameStop lead the entire fucking sector, lead the entire market, all of the markets combined. And then the actual volume itself, AMC and GameStop still lead the market. Yeah, you saw
Yeah,
that.
dude, those halts are insane.
Rentec did the same thing they did in 2021. In 2021, they bought a shitload of AMC and GameStop right before the run up, and they just did the same thing. They filed in the first quarter of this year. They increased their AMC stake by 78% to 8.7 million shares, and also have 1 million shares of GameStop now too.
All those leap options, man, like I said, they could definitely have some merit, but I mean, you got to ask yourself, why did he come back right now, too?
No, that's the other thing is right. That's the other thing is also why did he come back right now? It's not without reason. You know what I mean? It's not without reason, and it makes perfect sense too, right? Let's say, so the longest you can get leaps are 39 months. On February 14th, Ryan Cohen tweeted a frog. I think it was February 24th, but that was his first tweet after the sneeze. And obviously, leapfrog 39 months would be May 2024. And as I posted also, I went out and did a lot of research onto the leaps and their expirations and such. And I'm sure you saw it already, but I just want to pull it up so that people can see it too. And I concluded that leaps possess extended expiration right up to 39 months, and they expire on the third Friday of the contract month at 3 p.m. Central Standard Time. That would be this Friday, May 17th, 2024. Deep fucking Value came back on Mother's Day, Sunday, May 12th, 2024. Just in time to see this week play out, right? In addition, there's the Run Lola Run tweet, right? So here's Ryan Cohen picture that he tweeted with a frog, right? The I scream leapfrog, right? He's screaming leapfrog. February 24th, 2021. That would be the longest we could buy is 39 months.
What did you just say? That was a leap of ice cream?
Oh, ice cream, right? Ice cream frog. I scream leapfrog.
Oh, I got you, I got you.
I scream leapfrog, right? Ice cream leapfrog. The Run Lola Run. Run Lola Run The first post that DFV liked on Friday was the Run Lola Run. And that was posted on February 14th of this year. DFV did say it would be a couple of long weeks. Yeah, there's quite a lot to unpack. And people are talking about the shorts would not exercise an out of the money leap contract, but it wouldn't be a out of the money leap. It'd be a deep in the money leap contract, right? So that means that the market makers would have to go out and fetch those shares that were deep in the money and give it to them, and the market makers would have to pay the price for those. So the question is, do you think that they've bought enough shares already?
I don't believe so. Not even close. Like I said, maybe enough to re-roll some over just to allow some people to not go down. Because, like I said, if some of the too many of these people are going to go down from this, they'll end up hurting them more than helping them. If they, it'll help them more to just give them extensions than to get basically nothing.
Correct. I agree. So, could they have used flex options? Theoretically, yes, but my understanding of flex options and leaps, or flex options being used to hedge against leaps expiring, is limited. So I can't exactly state for sure.
Yeah, it's just because it's just like in the end of the day, you'll never know because it's the market makers who take it all in the end. So if they just write themselves some fucking flex options with the bank, in the end of the day, that's why it's always like it comes down to no matter what, if you take out the banks, the lenders, these guys got to collect all the way down, from the top down.
That's right. And if they had written the flex options to roll the leaps, why would we even see an increase in the price? It wouldn't show an increase in the price if they had just written flex options to roll them, right? That's what I believe.
No, but I think that increase in the price was them covering enough of the leverage to pay them, pay them, get enough to pay them the fees to roll it over.
Very
Or covering
possible.
enough of the leverage to allow them to roll it over.
I think that's plausible. I can't say yes or no, right? But I think that's plausible. I don't know with what likelihood, but it's definitely something that could be the case.
Yeah, because I was just thinking about that with AMC's debt to date. It'd be like the same thing. Cover a little bit, roll this over, but give me a payment. We'll restructure we'll roll you over just like they're going to restructure our debt now. Same type of scenario.
Might be.
Because it's just like with AMC's lenders. Everybody talks about how the lenders want to kill us so bad, but it's like, no. What are they going to do it for? So they get a whole bunch of projectors? It's not like AMC owns all this stuff. They're not going to, make all this money. They want AMC to stay alive. They want to keep collecting payments from them in the bond coupons that they will make more money that way. And AMC, right now, it's gonna recover, especially by the end of this year. 2025 should be all profitability. There's no reason not to extend it. They've already said they'd work with us for a reason. They had their meeting for a reason. If they wanted to kill it, they would just said nope.
Yeah, they don't want to lose billions of dollars. Lenders want to get paid, period. Like you borrow somebody a shitload of money, billions of dollars, are you just going to be like, yeah, go bankrupt and then I'll spend, billions more buying up your company? Like, nah, not really. I'd rather just get my money back with interest,
Sure.
than go
I'll
through
be
all
back
that
in like
trouble.
30 seconds. My wife just woke up.
Go ahead. Yep. Let's see. Edward. So, Edward, you're saying that Millennium Partners and Renaissance increased their stake in Medfast. How does that correlate, my friend? This is from Ken Griffin. Does that say, it is my belief that there are many other employment opportunities for quant outside of statistical arbitrage trading? Citadel, for example, employs quants in the fields or quantitative analysts quants in the fields of credit research, convertible bond modeling, and modeling the energy markets. I'll wait for you to respond, Edward, but I do see that Millennium Partners and Israel Englander was the one to manipulate ape shares. Okay, that's interesting information. Thank you. CPR says they lose everything when this runs: their house, their car, their boats, probably their wife or husband, and their kids will hate them. It could be. So if you guys are unaware of what the LEAPS states, it's basically they are long-term equity anticipation contracts with a maximum duration of 39 months. What was 39 months ago? February 14th, right? When they pulled the buy button in the end of January and February, nobody could buy shares except for the short hedge funds. The leaps are expiring. We believe this to be why DFV came back. I can't say for sure, obviously. It's just a theory, and I'm actually buying into the theory because I think it's very plausible as well. A leap is a useful hedge for a short position because when you decide you want to exit the position, you can exercise your in-the-money contracts to provide shares which you can use to unwind your short. It doesn't negate your losses, but it protects you against infinite risk because you can get shares and you shift the risk onto the market maker who sold you the leap.
Right, I'm back. Yeah,
Welcome
and that's
back.
what I'm saying. And that's what it's like when the market maker gets the risk, it's up to them how they want to hedge for it. And if they hedge for it through a flex option, then they set the terms for the hedge. You see what I'm saying?
Yes, I do understand what you're getting at. Now, also the other question is, do you believe that in the last 2 days alone, that they bought enough shares to properly hedge all of these flex options?
No, I don't believe so at all. But I believe they kind of did, a little small amount to where those guys would roll over enough of them to not let it go parabolic. But I believe so much is rolled over. Still, it's not even funny.
I still feel like they have more to go. You know, there were so many companies that were shorting, so many hedge funds and shit that were and brokers and shit that were shorting AMC and GameStop that I just don't believe that it would be sufficient
Well, on
sufficient
top of that,
purchases of
it's
shares.
like in the last 3 years, the shadow banking lending has gone up 2.7 trillion. So it's like all these people, and that's the other thing I was telling everyone to start waiting for is when these banks can't keep lending, they're gonna have to run to the shadow banks.
Hmm.
After the shadow banks, there's nowhere else to run. And all these guys have the same collateral because they're all just invested in the Mag 7. Well, the Mag 7, all the stocks in there are fucking cooking their books. So it's like you're sitting on a scam waiting to explode.
A Ponzi, and you need more and more people to keep getting into it. Otherwise, it collapses, right?
Exactly. And it's like the other theory that, I thought was kind of interesting was, they needed the liquidity to help kind of get these swaps bought and things like that. So they needed us to buy in so they could kind of offload some of these flex options too. But those people also said that they believe deep fucking value is a counter factor, which I don't believe it could be because it's just it got too big to where like there's no way it didn't get to roaring, Keith Gill, where Keith Gill doesn't know his account's been used and he's not going to sit there and let somebody do all this stuff where he could legally be held liable. You know what I mean? To where he's like, oh, and then come out and say somebody hacked it later.
I
He would have
agree.
said something by
I
now.
agree entirely. Not to mention, another thing in regards to them buying a shitload of shares to hedge themselves with the flex options. If that were the case, why would they sell 93 million shares of AMC in the first minute of the day yesterday if they needed those shares to hedge these flex options? Theoretically speaking, of
Well, you
course.
do remember it's not 93 million shares, it's 93 million volume. You could pass one or two shares back and forth, and same amount of shares could be traded.
True. They
Just so
could
people
wash
know, it's
them
not like they were bought out.
for sure.
What's that?
Sure, that yeah, you're right. They could wash sale, correct. But even still, how would we have such massive, massive volume, so many shares traded? We have confirmation that there was over like 380 million shares of AMC sold yesterday, with 51% shares sold short yesterday as well. You know,
Yeah, that's what's always my favorite, dude. It's like 50% of volume's fucking sold short. 40% of volume was off exchange. So like 5% hit the lit exchange. If 5% hit the lit exchange and the price did that, could you imagine if fucking 50, 60% hit the lit exchange?
yep, that's true.
No, my friend, I've never talked to you ever about your broker, and I do have two questions for you because I
Sure.
always like to know how brokers make their money. So, you're not doing payment for order flow. Are you
Not for
using
price
market
distorting dark
centers in any
pools.
way?
Now,
What's
see,
that?
the New York Stock Exchange and lit markets also pay for order flow because everybody pays for order flow.
Yeah, they give rebates. They give those rebates.
Right. The thing is that the the market makers like Citadel and Virtue and Apex and shit, they pay more for order flow. That's why Charles Schwab and Robinhood sell it to them. Because then they could front run the trade, trade it in the dark pool, whatever, whatever, withhold the pressure, manipulate the stock more. So we will still technically be allowing payment for order flow, but not from price distorting dark pools. That is only if people. We plan to automatically route to those, right? Now, to cover my own ass, I will say that we are not yet a licensed broker dealer with FINRA. That is the whole purpose of our Reg D and our Reg C campaigns that are coming out for accredited and non-accredited investors in about a week and a half, a week or so. And the whole purpose is for us to have 1 year of all expenses, salaries, etc. 1 year of all expenses in the bank in order to apply and receive our full FINRA approval as a fully licensed broker dealer, along with a lot of other regulations that we're following, right? But the thing is,
Yeah, no,
yes,
I was just curious. Like, so you're just gonna send? You're not gonna use like market centers, nothing like that. You're just gonna send straight to exchanges and get into the rebates on those.
that's our goal. However, for reference, because I truly believe that retail should have their own, should always have their own freedom to do whatever they want, we will, instead of forcing people to manually go in and route their orders to a lit market, right? Like if you want to go on Fidelity or IBKR, you got to jump through all these hoops and check all these boxes and select the order where you want it to go just to route it to the IEX or an IC. We're going to do it the other way around, where we're going to send everything possible, everything that retail will let us, send it to the lit markets. And then if people want to opt in to a dark pool because they're trading a stock that has very low liquidity or they need to get a different price or whatever, if they want to allow it to trade, allow the trade to occur in non-lit markets, then I think people should have the right to do whatever they want with their shares and with their money, right? If they want to lend out their shares, they're free to do so. If they want to allow open for more liquidity through dark pools, then they should be free to do so. But we would make them manually opt in to that instead of the other way around.
Lord, yeah, I just gotta ask those questions, and then what was the other one I wanted to ask you? So if they did, so okay, so I got you. So mainly you're gonna have them direct it unless they direct otherwise, and then people that do direct routing, then obviously you're gonna be able to make less compared to those other people. So what are you gonna charge them a fee or something?
Commission-based trading is the way to go for everybody. You know, there's a reason why Robinhood got fined by the SEC.
Well, I agree.
Because when you're trading on these free commissions, it's not really free. You actually end up spending more than if you would have just paid a commission in the first place. Robinhood got fined $65 million by the SEC, and the SEC found that those retail traders that were trading under Robinhood lost $34.1 million more by using these commission-free trades than if they would have just paid a commission up front.
No, yeah, I agree. I mean,
I'll
in
show
the
you.
end of the day, it's just a joke. Plus, you're not getting front run. That's just what I was curious because I was like, Because in the end
I
of the day,
understand.
a lot of people are asking me about if I think they should switch to your thing or what you're gonna do. And I mean, I've never asked you about any of that stuff, but I was like, as long as you're not using market makers, because I know Moo Moo. That's how Moo Moo and a lot of these other people get around is they use market centers, but they still end up getting them to market makers. So
Mm-hmm.
it's the same fucking thing. They just give it to the market center that pays them the most. But then the market maker gets it filled by, the market center gets it filled by the market maker. So there's really no difference. It's just a fancy way to saying we didn't do payment for order flow. So I was just
Exactly.
making sure you weren't doing the same thing. But I gotta get going here, man. Me and my wife gotta go somewhere at 4:30, so I do gotta get going. I will do this again here soon. I will
Sounds good.
definitely get some time here.
Yeah, sounds good. I
But
think it's been really
definitely
fun.
wanted to jump on. I've been telling you I'd do it for a couple days here.
I appreciate it. I know everybody else does. Thanks for having me on your channel as well. Just a quick shout. I do have it on the screen right now. You can see Robinhood provided inferior trade prices that in aggregate deprived customers of 34 million, even after taking into account the savings from not paying a commission. They made false and misleading statements, blah, blah, blah. You know, what they claim to be free is not really free. You know what I mean? So,
No.
anyways, thanks again, Bigums. I appreciate
Either
you.
way,
Appreciate
man, when it
everybody.
comes down to it, if I have to pay a commission fee to get my fucking thing to actually count and not go into their hands, it's worth the extra price any fucking way.
Exactly. To prevent the manipulation of your order so they can't front run it. Of course. You know what I mean? So anyways, thanks
Yeah,
again,
just like
Bigums.
I said, just like not giving these banks your fucking money for deposits. Everybody asks how to kill these bankers. Their lifeline. They live off your deposits. Take your deposits out and you win.
Exactly. Exactly. But a lot of people still don't get it, you know. And then J.P. Morgan just agreed to sell billions of customers' information to like shopping centers and
Yeah,
all these other
80 million.
80 million. Holy shit! They're gonna make a ton of money
And then
off that.
500 million customers last week got all their personal information breached, so hacked. So 500,000. And it's funny because these are the same guys. This is what I was saying. The people that are bitching about the CAT system, before I go, you got JP Morgan. Well, I mean, sorry, you got Virtue. Virtue's whining about it when they had that backup server that people that used to work for them that were working at other firms had access to. So you had people that had access to live data by Virtue, and Virtue's whining about people being able to breach data. You also had J.P. Morgan. Well, J.P. Morgan's the head of it all. Well, you just had 500,000 people's data get hacked. On top of that, you're selling 80 million of it. So what are you whining about? And then you got people like Tom Emmer. We need more transparency from the SEC, but we don't need it in the market. What the fuck are you talking about?
Exactly. They tried to pass the transparency regulations and the CAT system, and Tom Emmer and Hester Pierce literally shot it down every single chance they could, right? So who the fuck are they trying to gaslight?
Just what I'm saying, man. But I'll talk to you soon here, and we'll get together here. And no, I don't sound sad today. My wife was sleeping, my friends. But thank you guys. I'll talk to you guys soon.
Awesome. Have a great evening, brother. Catch you later.